Alright, lucky last game of the tournament, guys. It's Empire versus Lizardmen in Game 6, and it's against Ryan. Haven't actually beaten Ryan before, played him a couple of times, once when he was Lizardmen, once when he was Warriors of Chaos. You guys might remember him actually facing me in the last round of the last tournament I played in, which was Ark Enemy. But here we go, and the mission is just a straightforward battle line, I believe. Yeah, nothing fancy about it. You can see he's actually bunched his guys all up in the right-hand side, top right corner, and this is another slaan with the Law of Life. He's got the Becoming Cogitation, he knows the entire lore, but he doesn't actually have Focus of Rumination, excuse me, or the Cupped Hands of the Old Ones. He's also got a Stegodon and 6 Croxagors, 1 unit of Pterodons, a massive unit of Saurus Warriors with his slaan. So it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to turn out to be a matter of how well my cannons perform and just generally how well we play, I guess. But that's what's going on here. Next photo shows you me having deployed 1 unit of flagellants and swordsmen up against the general bulk of his army, and 1 unit of crossbowmen over in the ruins there, which I don't expect to last very long, and hopefully managing to move my war altar around, maybe into combat with the Saurus and pick off one of his characters, and you move the knights around the flank and really just prevent that big bulky unit from wiping out the rest of my army. Next photo, his Pterodons, I think, moving forward with Vanguard and just getting ready to harass my flanks there. They'll eventually head over to the Cannons later in the game. He's also got a Skink Priest with, can't remember what he's equipped with, but he's in that little unit, that little cohort unit of 10 guys with full command group. There's a Salamander behind him as well. Next photo, just a bit of a look in. He's got a wonderfully painted army, I must say. But yeah, units of skink skirmishers as well there. And bear in mind that Stegodon is just a regular Stegodon, not an ancient Stegodon or an engine of the gods or anything like that. Next photo, Empire win the roll for the first turn, so just moving out with the left-hand side of my army, but moving backwards with the right-hand flank. I've actually done a couple of swift reforms here with my guys and just pulling backwards, and I'll swift reform later on when he moves a bit nearer to me, but at the moment, just trying to edge away from him and buy myself time to use the cannons to weaken him. Next photo, bang, the cannons actually nail the Stegodon first shot, which I think is awesome. Rolled a 6 for the number of wounds on the Stegodon itself, so again, really happy with that outcome. Things going well from the start, and Magic not really achieving very much, but reasonably happy with position. Since the Stegodon's down, that means I can sort of move forward and, carefully engage his guys. He's now moving his Pterodons over to drop rocks, I think, on my crossbowmen. Next photo, it's his turn, and yet another problem for him. He miscasts with the slaan, rolls a 5 or lower, a 4 or lower, and unluckily for me, doesn't lose his slaan, but loses d6 power dice, and also annihilates half of his Saurus unit here with this mega pie plate. Again, extremely happy with the bad luck my opponent's having, and I guess I can take, everything that's given to me, because had a pretty bad first day. Now the luck's starting to come back to me. Next image, moving around once more. The Pterodons have inflicted some serious damage against my crossmen, who are reduced to 6 guys now. I've turned the rest of my units around, have taken some casualties from the from the swordsman unit in the middle, from dwellers below. Fortunately, my battle standard bearer passed the strength test, so I haven't lost the BSB yet. But in the middle, the Pistolier is also moving up to just get in the way, and as you can see, his units are severely depleted. In the top left, the Knight's moving around the swamp, don't really want to get sucked under by the swamp, but he's staying away from them with a unit of skinks. Next photo, his skinks charge into the forest where my Pistoliers are, and I guess this would be the biggest mistake of the game for me, is putting the Pistoliers in there for the skinks to charge me, because what I didn't realise is that skinks are skirmishers and skirmish are stubborn and forest. I always forget that rule every single time, and Ryan's got me there, and later in the game he'll actually be able to attack these Pistoliers with his Croxagors. Again, me not really realising what could have been done there, but good photography nonetheless. Next photo, the Pterodons. Love this photo. The guy on the champion Pterodon there is really cool looking with his little helmet, and great painting on the Pterodons themselves. Just flying in between my infantry units and getting ready to attack the cannons in the following turn. Really great bright colours, and yeah, just loving the way things look this game. Next photo, the knights sweeping around the flank, being avoided by the blowpipe skinks out of the charge arcs, so those guys will just be able to move around, doing very little damage, but later in the game the knights will be probably attacking the Saurus Warriors now that they are weakened. Next photo, in the top, the War Altar is charged into the Saurus Warriors, just getting ready to, you know, swing his mace in anger and try and crush somebody. I've made a critical mistake of charging the skinks in the forest there with the swordsman. Normally I'd be able to wipe him out, but unfortunately in this situation, the swordsman really just getting stuck there because of the skinks being stubborn. The wizard in the unit of handgunners has turned around, getting ready to countercharge the pterodons if they go for the cannon, and possibly shoot them in the following turn. In the right hand side of the photo, just getting ready to take the charges wherever possible from the salamanders and the Croxagores. Next photo, his salamander breathes some fire but miscasts and instead jumps into the skinks and bites a couple of them. And the crossbowman still alive somehow, shooting away at pretty much the same target. The cannon managed to nail a couple of the Croxagores, so that's what's going on there, but really, unfortunately, he's going to be able to do some serious damage in his next turn. Next photo, the knights homing in. They will be able to get a flank charge in the following turn, but in the meantime, the War Altar just whacking away at the Saurus wherever he can. And not really being able to kill any of the characters just yet. His mace just hasn't been going off. Every time that champion keeps stepping up, he has to attack the champion. Of course, with the slaan and the Law of Life, he is able to regrowth his Saurus warriors somewhat. Next photo, the pterodons charged the cannon, and what we were both expecting to be a easy victory for the pterodons turned out to be a bit of a tougher fight, because the cannon crew managed to duck and dodge the horrible dinosaur flyers and stab a couple of them back, so managed to win that fight, hold, well, not so much win it, but hold with passing the break test, allowing me to get involved there with the wizards unit in the next turn. Next photo, the knights finally come crushing in. And unfortunately, he's got a character in that unit with the stubborn hat, as we call it, the crown of command, or whatever you named it. The wizard, the War Altar's taken actually a couple of wounds here, and in his turn he's got flesh to stone off, which is making things very difficult. And although it looks like a winning situation for me where I can't possibly lose this game, I'm actually getting a sinking feeling that he's going to beat me here, simply because he's got access to regrowth. His Saurus are just not going to die with flesh to stone there. After I've charged in and wasted my lance attacks, I've just got nothing going for me. And the War Altar is soon going to be destroyed by his characters hitting me every single time, so it's just starting to look really tense and nervous. Next photo, the Croxagores smashing into the Flagellants. Just, couldn't have timed this any worse. The Flagellants poorly positioned. They're there to take the charge elsewhere, and because of that sneaky little, strike through the forest with the overrun roll, he's got into the flank of the Flagellants, which, is just so ridiculously bad. He's also managed to get regrowth on the Croxagore unit at some point as well, which has made things really terrible. Next photo, the Croxagores and Flagellants just battling it out. So in the background, the swordsmen just reforming around so that they can get a countercharge in the following turn and just stick the Croxagores in place and possibly beat them if they take too long to kill the Flagellants. But the thing is, with those stomp attacks in there as well, the Flagellants are just not holding up very well. Next image, I've got a group of swordsmen here which, considering charging the bunker in the middle, but to be honest, until I can kill that guy with the stubborn hat, there's nothing I can really do, because he'll just keep healing us guys, keep hitting me back, and chances are if I ever lose the combat, that'll just mean the BSB and the swordsman are lost as well, so at this point, not committing. The War Altar down to 1 wound left. Next photo, just things getting even worse. After he destroyed the Flagellants in my turn, he reformed the Croxagores and then charged my other swordsman in the rear, like through a massive difference, got a pretty decent roll, and that's coming down to another fight as well. Just shocking stuff. The War Altar has been destroyed, and his Saurus warrior is turning around. So things just really going down the drain. I can't believe how this has happened. Next photo, the Saurus attacking this group of swordsmen over here as well. Sticking it out as best I can, but man, when everything I do somehow is the wrong thing, and I just get attacked from the least expected direction. These guys are like the crazy Croxagores from hell. Next photo, this is why Lizardmen ought to be banned, at least Slaan Lizardmen with Law of Life. He's got all 4 spells in play. He's got Throne of Vines, Shield of Thorns, Earth's Blood, Flesh to Stone, all off in the same unit. But however, at some point I was actually managed to kill his final group of swordsmen, including the command group, and I managed to take out his BSB as well. So he's just sitting there with a slaan and his Saurus with the crown of stubborn. keeping those points in the game. And when we finally rolled the last dice of turn 6, it turned out, you know, with the comp bonus, I'd beaten him, and very, very barely. I should have had this game by a massacre, but due to just some careless mistakes and unfortunately the power of Lizardmen spells, I just really couldn't, carry the last half of the game very well at all. Hope you guys enjoyed this tournament. I ended up placing 9th out of 12th, so just below middle of the pack. Had a great time. Could have played a little bit better, could have taken a tougher army, but yeah, my first Masters experience. Haven't played a lot of games at 2,000 points either, and I wasn't entirely sure what to expect. So you might see me again with my Empire soon, or Warriors of Chaos, possibly even High Elves in a couple of months' time if I can do some painting. But yeah, just stay tuned, keep watching the videos. Thanks for your support, guys.